The winds are calm today, so hopefully we have some good audio. As I say that, the wind, of course, picks up. But let's go ahead and first thing I always like to do when I'm doing these videos is I like to talk about some niche ideas, because there are so many different niche ideas, so many different opportunities out there for you. You just have to pick one and move forward. Today is late June. I don't remember the exact date, but one of the great niches to get into is simply like holiday niches. 4th of July in the United States is coming up, and so that could be your opportunity. Now, when you think about 4th of July or holiday niches, start thinking about all of the ancillary things all of the byproduct things that people might be interested for that holiday. For 4th of July, there's of course things like fireworks, there's food, so you could put together like a 4th of July holiday spread, meals, recipes, things of that nature. People are also traveling a lot during the holidays, so that could be an opportunity as well. Best places for fireworks, best places to visit in the 4th of July, right? So those are all different ideas. Also, too, I'm down here by the lake once again. Swimming is going to be big, teaching people how to swim. I actually don't know how to swim at all, and so that could be an opportunity to take advantage of. But the reason why I always like to start off with talking about niches, because there's so many different niches out there, and I feel like people get bogged down trying to find the perfect niche, or they get bogged down because they can't find a niche, and literally everything's a niche. When you think about swimming, life vests, teaching people how to swim shorts, swim goggles, if people are like diving underwater, air tanks, different opportunities along those lines. And there are always going to be people that want to learn how to swim. Every year, there's somebody new that's being born. Let's say every year, let's say 1 million people are being born. Out of those 1 million people, 200,000, 300,000 are going to want to learn how to swim eventually. So if you create content about swimming, it could potentially be evergreen. So I want you to think about the skills, the interests, the hobbies, the passions that you already have, and use that as an opportunity to start your niche, start creating content. But today, I think we're going to have kind of a tough conversation, and I want to start off with a question. What is preventing you from being successful? What is preventing you from starting? Because I'll share my experience. When I first got started, I was focused on being perfect. I was focused on creating the perfect piece of content. I was focused on really the wrong things. How you doing? And that's what kind of held me back. Focused on the money, and because I was focused solely on the money, I was focused on trying to be like other people that I deemed to be successful. And I think I've told this story before, but I want to tell this frequently because I think it should resonate with a lot of people. I watched a guy. His name was the Freedom Influencer, Nathan Lucas. He still creates content on YouTube today, but I used to watch all of his videos, and I would spend so much time trying to figure out what he was doing. My insulin pump keeps going off. What he was doing to get so many views. How was it that he was able to be successful? And I spent so much time consuming his content that I wasn't creating my own. So, there's so much information and knowledge and stuff on the internet. What's preventing you from reaching your first goal? What is your first goal? Is your first goal to make $100 per day? I think that might be kind of an issue. I think your first goal should be to help 100 people. And you can help 100 people with your free content. And I think that's part of why people aren't successful, is they're sprinting toward the money. And if you sprint toward the money, I think you're missing out why you're really in this. At the end of the day, we make money online, or we want to make money online to help people, to help other people. And be honest and transparent and tell me why haven't you reached your goals yet? What do you think is preventing you from reaching your goals? Because when I look back, if I were to coach my younger self, if I were to work one-on-one with my younger self, I would say, stop trying to chase the money. A lot of the decisions that I made early on were solely money focused. And when you want to escape the situation that you're in, maybe you are, uh, maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you're, late on some payments or whatever it is. Maybe you hate your job, you hate your boss, and you're looking for a way out. That feeling creates kind of like a desperation. And when you have that feeling of desperation, you start doing things that aren't necessarily aligned with the goal, the mission, the passion. And it forces you to start making decisions that are going to hurt you in the long run. And I can remember vividly, I was so desperate to get to the money that I I needed to take a step back and say, hey, look, really should be focusing on helping people. I should be focusing on not making content that is self-serving. And that's my question for you. A, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to make money online? Why are you starting an online business? And is it aligned with the ultimate goal of trying to help people? And I look over the last few weeks, when I'm making these videos, I'm really focused in trying to help my younger self. I'm trying to coach my younger self through the lessons that I've learned, and hopefully you're getting a ton of value out of it. But one of the things that I can take a step back and realize is, hey, look, the decisions that I made were self-serving. The content that I was creating at some point was self-serving, and that's what really prevented me from reaching my goals quicker. And maybe that's what's happening for you. Oftentimes, I hear people say, "I the niche that I want to get in is too saturated, or I can't pick a niche, or something along those lines." I believe that a niche is only saturated when you're trying to be like everybody else, when you're trying to make the exact same content as everybody else. In reality, what I think you should be doing is find whatever it is that you want to talk about. So let's say you want to talk about basketball. There are a million people that are already talking about basketball or football or soccer, but use your knowledge, skills, and experience to help differentiate yourself. 5, 10 years ago, when there was only YouTube, it would be a little bit more difficult. But now we have social media, we have TikTok, and even YouTube Shorts that allow us to get in front of people much quicker and much faster. What I would say, and if I were to coach my younger self, I would say start creating content about basketball, start talking about basketball, but connect your unique experience. I played basketball in high school. I wasn't great. I wound up playing basketball in college, Division III. And I wasn't great there. Use that knowledge, skills, and experience to talk about basketball from a different perspective, because very few people have the background of playing college basketball and riding the bench Division III. And so I can still talk about whatever it is, basketball, raising kids, but using my unique perspective. And you can do it too. So if you wanted to get into a niche that's too competitive, the way that you stand out is hop on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or wherever you want to create content and use your stories. Because what's really interesting about the internet and about human nature is, A, we connect through stories. So if you can tell a story, people are going to know, like, and trust you a bit better. People that the people that do the best on TikTok or on YouTube, on social media in general, are able to tell a story and communicate it in a way that it's effective, it resonates, and it connects with the average everyday Joe. Now, we all basically have the same experience, but the major difference is we differentiate ourselves through stories. I'm like you. I want to make money online. I want to start an online business. But what makes my journey different than maybe you or someone that's watching or listening is I learned that I wanted to start an online business when I had kids. I did everything quote unquote the right way. I went to college, I got a degree, a bachelor's degree. I was working a decent job at the time, and I just wanted more. At the time, I don't think I was chasing the laptop lifestyle, but I wanted to be able to be home for my kids. I wanted to be able to coach my kids, and luckily, fortunate enough, I'm able to do that. Just last night, I coached my son's baseball game. He's in coach pitch baseball, and to watch him grow and develop is such a cool feeling. And that wouldn't be possible if I hadn't have started an online business to help me get there. But the reason why I wanted to pursue an online business is so that I could be there for my kids and help them through sports. Part of that too is because my dad wasn't there. He was in the home, but he had to work third shift. And so he was working all night. He was a forklift operator. And then he would sleep all day. And so because he would sleep all day, he was tired. He wouldn't have time to play catch. And so one of the things that was really important to me was being available at night when they got out of school, picking them up, dropping them off, being able to play and participate with their sports. My dad was a great dad, amazing dad. My mom is a great mom, an amazing mom. But because of how they had to work to provide for us, they weren't there for, like, I was always late to baseball practice, which drove me crazy. But anyway, that's besides the point. So what I would probably also say and suggest that you do is find your why. Why are you doing this? There's a book called, I think it's called Start With Why. Maybe I'll put it in the description if I remember. But use that to help you determine why you're doing this. And the why can't just be money. The why has to have some sort of incorporation or incorporating helping other people. Because chasing the money, how you doing? Chasing the money, you'll never catch it. That's one thing I learned, is if you spend all your time chasing the money, you're going to have a very difficult time catching it, and you're going to have a very difficult time keeping it, because the money is always faster than you can be. So ask yourself, why are you doing this? Why are you really doing this? And if you're willing to, comment down below why you're doing this, why you decided to embark on this crazy journey of trying to make money online and start an online business. Why are you watching these types of videos? But I think one of the things that we have to be honest about and have the realization is are you creating content? Have you decided to create content that actually helps people? And if you haven't, now is the time to start, because I think that might be one of the things that is holding you back. And so, you've got all the tools, you've got all the knowledge, you've got all the skills, you have everything that you need to know at your fingertips in your phone. So what's preventing you from getting started is probably the number one question that I would have. What's stopping you? What is that one thing that is preventing you from moving forward? It can't be information, because we have all the information. People will say, I'm still doing the research. And I think that's an excuse, right? You have, on your phone, you have access to every historical data point that there is. What research do you need to continue to do? What research is there that you need to do that you haven't done already? What are you telling yourself that is preventing you from moving forward? Sometimes people say, well, I'm making content, but nobody's watching. The question would be then, A, is the content good? Would you buy from you? And that's another difficult conversation that people don't necessarily want to hear. Someone will comment, inevitably, I've been making content for 3 years and I have less than 1,000 subscribers. The question will be, would you buy from you? And oftentimes people will look at their content and say, no, I wouldn't buy from you. And simply, if you're not willing to buy from you, chances are people around the world wouldn't be willing to buy from you either. You have to realize that when people go on the internet, they're naturally skeptical of what they're hearing and seeing. And so if you're the person behind the content and you wouldn't buy from you, then that other person wouldn't buy from you either. So I would suggest, and the other thing I would suggest is, are you taking it to the next step? Like I'll hear people say, well, content creator XYZ only uploads to YouTube and they're getting tons of views. A, you don't really know that. And B, what's preventing you from doing the next thing? What's preventing you from doing and? So you make a YouTube video and you make a TikTok video. Well, I don't want to show my face. Then the question becomes, are you willing Are you really willing to do everything it takes to be successful? That's ultimately what you've got to ask yourself. Are you willing to do everything that it takes to be successful, ethically and honestly? Because if someone in your niche is just creating YouTube videos and they're finding success, maybe you have to create YouTube videos and upload some TikTok videos. Maybe you've got to create YouTube videos and then splice those YouTube videos up and put them on TikTok. So that's the next thing. Are you willing to go the next level? Just because you see one person doing it one way, you automatically assume that's all it takes. That might have been all it took 10 years ago, but now because we're in a different time and there's more people now than ever creating content, are you willing to do the and? Are you willing to create YouTube videos and TikToks? Are you willing to create blog posts and YouTube videos? If you're not, then you can't be upset with the results that you're getting, right? If you came to me and said, Alston, I'm uploading to YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and I've got blog posts, and I'm everywhere, and I'm not getting any traction, I could take a look at your content and say, okay, this is where you're deficient. But oftentimes, they'll upload YouTube videos inconsistently, maybe once a week, once every couple every couple weeks, and then they'll look around and say, hey, a guy in my niche who has 100,000 subscribers is doing the exact same thing that I am. I'm doing the exact same thing that he is, and he's able to get 1,000 views, 20,000 views on his videos. Well, the question is, he's earned that right to upload one video. That's not a question, but he's earned the right to upload one video a week to gain those subscribers. You need to take it to the next level. You need to upload YouTube videos and something else. Take it to the next level. Give yourself a fair shot. Don't just assume that you're going to be able to do the exact same thing as everyone else and have the same opportunity. And oh, by the way, you don't know what he's doing on the back end. That's another thing that people don't necessarily realize or talk about. Another niche while we're going by is boating. Boating is an expensive niche. You could be a partner of Bass Pro Shops. They sell boats. They sell expensive boats. And you could talk about the different types of boats. You could create content about where to boat. There are in certain parts of Wisconsin, there's certain lakes that are no wake lakes. And you could talk about the differences there. But anyway, the question becomes, are you willing to do everything that it takes to be successful? And most people will do the bare minimum. I hate that term, the bare minimum, and expect to get the same results as someone else. Hey, Alston, people will say to me, hey, Alston, I see some guy in the tech niche. He uploads 2 videos a week and he's getting 10,000 views per week. Okay. You're doing that and what? And plus what else? That's kind of the tough love conversation we need to have with ourselves. Are you willing to do everything that it takes to be successful? Are you just doing the bare minimum because that's what you see other people doing? Or are you going above and beyond? When I first got started and I finally got out of my own way, I said, you know what? I'm going to upload videos every single day. I'm going to go live every single day. I'm going to challenge myself. That'll make me a better content creator. That'll get my content out into the algorithm. It didn't necessarily bring me more views. It gave me confidence to make content. It gave me the ability, it showed me the ability that I can upload every single day. And I want you to think about that. Are you willing? Are you doing everything that it takes to be successful? Are you taking it to the next level? Are you looking at your competitors and taking it a step further? If your competitors are creating TikTok videos, they're doing 3 videos a day, are you willing to do 6? Are you willing to do 12? Are you willing to jump into the comment section of other people? Or do you have this mental block like you don't want to come off as a creep or you don't want to come off as a weirdo? Do you have these mental blocks that are preventing you from getting to where you want to go? When I say you need to get out of your own way, that's what I mean. You need to stop overthinking every aspect, every step, because I guarantee you're the only one that's overthinking it. No one else really cares that you're making 20 videos a day. No one is going to say, damn, I see Alston way too much. And if they do, they're not going to buy from me anyway. If someone complains about seeing you too much, they're just going to block you, right? They're going to mute you. They're going to make it so that you're not visible. So that is the number one question that I have. Are you doing enough? Are you going above and beyond? Are you looking at what your competitors are doing and taking it to the next level? Because chances are you probably aren't. If you're not, why? Comment down below why you're not taking it to the next level. Comment down below that you're committing to taking it to the next level. Because I guarantee you, if you double, triple, quadruple your output, you'll see a drastic change for the better. You'll either get better at creating content, you'll get more efficient at creating content, you will get more views, more watch time, and probably start making money as long as your content is helpful, as long as you are creating helpful content for other people. So that is my challenge for you. That is my challenge to you. I think anybody can be successful in any niche. In fact, there's somebody this moment that is deciding to start, and they're going to be successful because they've seen what other people are doing, and now they've committed themselves to doubling it or tripling it. Are you willing to do that? And if you're not willing to do that, that's fine, but then you can't be frustrated and upset with the results. If you are making poor AI content because that's all you can do, commit to making and improving that better AI content. If you don't want to be on camera, that's fine, but commit to taking the time to improving your video editing skills so that you can get more views. That's what it comes down to. And that's what I mean when I say, are you willing to get out of your own way? Can you get out of your own way? Don't compare yourself to other people because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they've been through. See what your other people are doing and commit to outworking them. Commit to, one thing that I think will help is if you batch out your content. People will say, Alston, I don't have a lot of time. Okay, be efficient with the time that you do have. I'll give you an example. Last month, I committed to walking at least 11,000 steps. And so I realized, and I wanted to make sure that I got 11,000 steps by noon. Normally, because I sit in the house and I work it from home, the max amount of steps I'm getting is just about 6,000. So half. I wanted to double my output. And what I had to do was I wound up walking 4 miles during lunch. So I would walk like an hour and a half during lunch. And I realized, hey, why don't I be more efficient with my time? I'm already going to the gym Monday through Saturday. So instead of in between sets, in between reps, in between sets, why don't I do a couple laps? Why don't I walk around? I can get these steps in so that during lunch, I don't have to walk for an hour and a half. And so now, if I look, I have about 6,000 steps and it's only 7:30 because I'm more efficient with the time that I have. I don't want to spend an hour and a half walking around my neighborhood. Instead, I spend 30 or 45 minutes walking around my neighborhood, but I'm more efficient with the time that you have. We all have time. You just have to be determined to be more efficient with the time that you have. So I told you this was going to be kind of a tough love conversation. Hopefully you got a ton of value out of it. Hopefully you're going to recommit to taking to the next step. The sun's kind of bright, so I can't really see what's going on, but hopefully you're going to commit to taking to the next level, working hard, outworking the competition. I think you can do it. I know you can do it. You have to believe that you can do it. You've got to be willing to get out of your own way to do it. And if you're not willing to commit to taking to the next step, then that's okay.